Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm just going to be quickly showing you. I'm going to stress test the vehicle AI. Basically, I'm going to be adding a ton of cars, a ton of vehicles, and then I'm going to turn up to play as a client. So I'm going to test this in a multiplayer environment, see if it handles. Obviously, it's an editor, so it might not represent 100% how it would be in a packaged, a packaged multiplayer build. But obviously, it's going to be close enough. And a client asked this, and I think a lot of people might want to know this. So I will do that. So I'm going to duplicate first of all the cars. Now, one thing I have to say is, well, if I press P, the vehicles are going to drive around. They're going to hit each other if they try to go through the same place because right now it's not really active. Any group AI, so they're not going to try to evade each other unless we make the vehicle affect the Navmesh in real time. Now, obviously, we can do that, but the system will kind of break right now. That's in the works, don't worry. I will add that soon so that the vehicles can affect the Navmesh themselves for other vehicles, don't eat each other. But right now, they're going to eat each other and they're going to put itself out of the Navmesh bound. So they're going to go over here and go over here, and those vehicles will lose Navmesh information basically because now they're outside the valid path. And when they try to update their path, they're not going to have one because the Navmesh doesn't exist where they are. Now I'm going to change that because I will do a system that basically, if they're, I'm going to update the system so if they're not inside the Navmesh, they will find their last point or their last valid point because right now they don't record their path. That's why that breaks. But as requested, I'm going to show you with a ton of cards. Well, first of all, I'm going to execute it normally, and you're going to see that all of them will move and they will try to go uh, and go around. Now, a bunch of them are probably going to hit each other. There you go. They're kind of going to. There you go. The physics will activate as normally. They will all try to go to the valid path. You can see that this car is being pushed. That's because I think he's trying to, yeah, steer forward. So this is kind of the problem right now. They don't really know each other because um, the Navmesh doesn't really update with the vehicle's position. They think it's a clear path. Now you can see what happens because of that is that they're trying to go through each other. But generically you can see that it works. For example, this vehicle went out of the Navmesh area and now he no longer knows what to do. So I'm going to push him over here and now he's going to turn and go. And I think another one got stuck over here. So I'm going to push him out here and he's going to turn. There you go. Come on. You can see that they get a little bit weird when they reach, outside the Navmesh area. But generically, you can see that most vehicles made it. Now, this is only on a client replication. I'm actually going to open up a path over here in this side so that they just have another, area to go through. So they don't try to go all of them through there. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go and open up this on a client view. And I'm going to open up two windows. And I'm going to do new editor windows. So this is basically simulating a dedicated server, and this is the client's vision. So this is kind of what the clients see. You can see that they are replicated. Because it's physics-based, there might be some desyncs, but not really. You can see that they are all or both done correctly. Yeah. So let's check the positions of the vehicles here and see if they are matching. So you can see that over here in the fourth, we have this vehicle over here. You can really see my mouse. Let me do that. Okay, so you have this vehicle back here. You have this one towards the left. We have this one, and we kind of have this one over here. I think they're all pretty much matching. Now they are trying to move. That's because of the server adjusting some positions and it, pushes with the physics. But you can see overall it works. But I think if I wasn't mistaken, they all tried to go through the left. Yeah. So the reason that they're doing that is because, well, the default nav mesh system, this is not really up to my system, is that they go through the closest path. So once they try to find or use the Navmesh system of Unreal, the Navmesh system of Unreal is kind of hard-coded to find the closest path. So that's why they're all going through there. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open up this area. So these vehicles will find that that is closer to go through there. There you go. You can see that the vehicle's on this side. We'll go through here. Why did you stop? I don't think you're outside the area. Or are you stuck in some? Oh, he's stuck on the physics object. Well, I can really change it right now because I'm not simulating. But I talked this about in one of the showcase videos. Is that if you have physics actors small like this that get stuck in, inside the car, this is gonna happen. Why? Because I think this is a front wheel driven vehicle, and the wheels are not touching the floor, so he's stuck basically. You can see a vehicle actually went over. They probably got pushed by one of the other cars. That's pretty cool, actually. But let's see if everything matches again. So let me move forward. And you can see that I think all the vehicles are kind of the same. They're still trying to move. Yeah, you can see that those three vehicles are there. And we see that this vehicle is turned upside down. So you can see that this is somewhat correctly replicated on the client's. Now, you can really test performance again in editor, but I am going to push it a little bit harder. I'm going to add more cars. This is going to begin to be a little bit crazy. Let's play. There you go. The frame rate is actually pretty good, so it's not really. And I do have two windows open. Oh, but I see that I have three vehicles over there. Oh no, I was just far away that the server wasn't replicated. That's kind of default Unreal Engine settings. But you can see that two cars went over, because this is really like a big mass of vehicles that don't know that each other exist. So they just kind of go all to each other. But you can see that, for example, if you're doing a derby game, for example, when they have to crash into each other, this is actually pretty cool. Yeah, with more advanced like settings, because it's just the default vehicle, so that's why it's not perfect. But you can see that it technically works with a ton of vehicles. There are 41 vehicles over here. I'm sure that we can go further with this. Let's see how much does it take to break performance. I'm going to change this just to one window because it's unrealistic to be playing with two clients. No one does that. And I'm actually going to go and push these vehicles over here to this side. And I'm actually going to see what they do when their objective is actually behind them. So regular behavior, they should turn. There you go. You can see that they're all turning. Now they are flickering. That's because of the range of the replication. You can see vehicle is flying there. That's because of their weight is not like, yeah, you can see this starts to happen because the Unreal Engine physics are very like stuff is not very heavy. It's not realistic in terms of weight, so things can just fly. If you make the vehicle heavier, or if you use Chaos Vehicle from Unreal Engine 5, things will, physics will be way better because NVIDIA physics does this. It's normal, but you can see that the AI regularly works, although it starts to get pretty crazy. But yeah. I will leave this here. Hopefully you can see some information, see if this is, can work in your game. As you can see right now, it's not really good if you have tons of vehicles that try to go to the same point, because they start pushing each other and they don't really go around each other because, again, they don't affect the nav mesh yet. This is something that I will modify so that the system does not break when you do that. And it will be probably the first update that will come into the pack. But yeah, hopefully you can get some answers for this, and hopefully you like the performance. And you can see it works as replication. If you place listen server with your Windows, it might start getting laggy, but it will work the same. There you go. You can see that the listen server sees everything as well as the listens. The client sees everything as well as the listen server, and it replicates as well with listen servers and as dedicated as well. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully this answered all your questions. If you want to know anything more, or if you want me to do more, scenarios, with the pack, let me know and I will do that happily. And yeah, thank you so much for whoever is buying the pack. I have got some a good amount of sales actually for a short period of time. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I see you next time. Bye bye.